Hey guys, Voxel Pro here. What was I ranting about last time? It was about what was it about? It was about something. I know that. It was about something. It was about the future, and I think it just turned into like a soliloquy of stuff. Just random stuff. Anyway. Hey, do any of you guys know that one music that one music where I don't know, where this is a guy who used to be on the radio, you know. I mean, he's still around. It's like he's like one of the new age rappers. It's probably like Rich Homie Quan or something or another. I mean, I know that's a real name. I just don't know if the song is done by him. It could be anybody. I know it's not Kendrick Lamar. But well, there's this one song to where it sounds like he's crying in it, you know. It goes how does it go? It goes na 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 na, something like that. I don't know, but all the time he's saying words, okay? But it sounds, from my perspective, it sounds like he's crying, you know? You heard of mumble rap? This is crying rap, okay? That's what it sounds like. It just sounded like him crying all the time, you know? I don't know. Yeah. You know, these musicians these days. Well, not even musicians. I mean, they're musical people for sure. They work in the musical industry for sure. But like the rappers, I don't know. Not that I like listen to a lot of them. It just, you know. Then you got the whole, you know, the Kendrick conversation. Should he be considered, you know, in the conversation of, you know, the greatest ever? You know, the greatest of all time. People say that it's too early, you know. I'm like, you know, well, I mean, how many bodies of work has he put out, you know? Yeah, you could count the, if you say full feature length albums, then you know he's had not full feature length album, but full studio based albums. It's been 3. But you have Overly Dedicated and Section 80, and you know, which that's pretty much like five albums right there, you know. I remember hearing this one thing, this one radio show where it was talking about where it was this one guy and I'm sorry, there's two guys, and they're saying, well, you know, well, I'm not saying that he's the top. One guy saying, well, I'm not saying he's the top, but he's definitely in the conversation. And then the other dude's saying he's not in the conversation yet because it's too early, you know. And I'm thinking like, yeah, but you know, you can't always say that, because every time people talk about Big and Pac, you know, they only put out 2 albums, and then all of a sudden they automatically go into first and second. So how's that work? You could say that they died, but you still, you know, and then, you know, it's like, what is the formula for entering the conversation of being the greatest of all time? You know, because, you know, people could easily say nostalgia, but, you know, the music and the way the instruments work change from one time to another. Like, you wasn't hearing like the style of music back then, like, you know, like the way the drums were, the way the music was. It just wasn't like that back then. There wasn't really no trap back then, no dance music, no, like, none of this quick hi-hat snare type beats, and like this dirty South type beats, and, you know, with the bass and all this other stuff. And, you know, you had a large part of that. You had boom bap. Nobody's doing boom bap no more. I mean, some people might. I mean, people know how to make it. People know how to make it. You ever go on YouTube and you see like a Kendrick Lamar type, somewhere in the section it'll have the name of the song, and it's from these producers who haven't exactly, like, I don't know, like, are on a professional level, but they use professional tools, but the stuff that they make sounds like generic, like, stuff. It sounds like they have no originality, you know. There's people out there who make the beats, and like they sound great. They sound great. And like, people would hop on this if it was like a online cipher, or cipher, even if like for cipher, like if they would just wanted to do the BET Hip Hop Awards and they said, we're gonna use this beat for the cipher, you know, instead of reusing you know, East Flatbush, you know, tried by 12, carried by 6, or whatever, you know, like they did in the 2011 BET Awards Hip Hop Cypher 6 with Eminem and Slaughterhouse and Yellow Wolf and all that. Or they did with or you know, how was it 2014, no, it wasn't 2014. Was it 2016? No, it wasn't, because I didn't watch that one. Was it 2015 with Redman and whoever was doing the Benny Siegel Mac B instrumental to their cipher? I mean, yeah. So, man, I miss when Westwood, you know, used to have Eminem on. Yeah, the 2010, 2009, like the relapse and the relapse year and the recovery year, Tim Westwood freestyles, they were just great. I like the relapse year Tim Westwood Eminem freestyle though better, because they were using they were using the Busta Rhymes beat, Respect My Conglomerate. That's what it was. That was all. I liked it. Whatever. That was the, like, yeah, I tell you what, 2011 when Bad Meets Evil came out. When Bad Meets Evil came out, you know, no. 2000. Yeah, wait. Now I gotta backtrack. Because I'm thinking, was it 2010 when Recovery came out, or 2011 when Bad Meets Evil came out, that I decided that I was gonna try to write my own stuff. It was one of those times. I just can't remember which. I know those were the years that the albums came out. I just can't remember what year I actually decided to start trying. But you know, there was a bunch of dudes that you know, I knew it. There was a couple of dudes that I knew at the time that was like writing their own. So I'm like, oh wait, how do you do that? I can't just like freestyle on the spot like that. Still can't to this day. Can't do it for crap. I still write a little bit, but it's not nothing to swoon over. It's not nothing that's even impressive, really. You know what it was? I just never found, like, you know, it just didn't sound good to me. I showed it to people. I showed it to people who I knew, and it was like, oh, you know, it's pretty good, I guess. Well, they said it was pretty good, like, you know, but, you know, I could, you know, something about it, it just wasn't enough. It just wasn't enough, so I just stopped. I just stopped. I recorded a few stuff. I've recorded a couple times, but, you know, it just wasn't, you know, maybe I should just start writing again and just start putting, like, random ones on, like, YouTube, on, like, here on YouTube, and I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. It's not funny, and it's not meant to, like, you know, I guess as a pastime, because I know that I'm not really good at it. I'm not even good at the writing part of it. Like, I can't, like, flip the syllables, and I can't rap fast. I can't do it. I can't be like, because after that, it just sounds like a cassette tape fast forwarding, and it just sounds unintelligible and incoherent. So, yeah, but yeah. So, future. I remember that discussing that the last time, and I made made the soliloquy with the military and the army coming to my high school at the time. So yeah, that was pretty much it. You know what I've been watching on Netflix, though? I've been watching, I've been trying to find some good anime on there. I like anime. You know, because anime, with certain anime, is, like, poetic with their displays of, like, you know, of their stories. You know, it's deeply entrenched in, like, it's almost like visual poetry. I don't know. This is the way I see it. You know, like take for example Dragon Ball Z. Very, very popular in terms of, like, if you told, like, anime as a whole is not, like, known by, like, people by large. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for United States, for the 330 something million people, probably 10 to 50 million people probably know about anime, and God knows how many of those 10 to 50 actually watch them on the day, like actually participates in watching it, and, you know, and has the, you know, and knows about the shows, and is even more of an anime fan than the, like, you know, than the normal anime fan. So, you know, but this is one that most of them know. Dragon Ball Z, which is actually amazing because it was referenced on The Flash, on the last episode of The Flash that I watched. Uh, and what it was is, it was funny because in the episode, Iris was like, Iris is, Barry Allen's love interest on the show, and she was like, you've tried to explain it to me a million times and I just couldn't get it. That was her sentiment. I just couldn't get it, but I watch Dragon Ball Z and I like it, and I remember trying to explain it to my parents one time. It was like they couldn't get it either. Like, how's this dude dead come back to life, then somehow he died again? But when he died, how was he dead when he was dead, then died, then came back to life, then died again? That don't make any sense. Well, how come they don't just stay dead if they could just die over again? It just I'm hyping it up right now. But that's how that's the level of confusion. How like people died like 17 times. 17 times, like, was just a like, it's something that you had to be familiar with, so Dragon Ball Z. But but Dragon Ball Z is poetic with its like visual stuff. Like, the fact that you can be so angry that you can like transform. Like, and like just like the level of anger that you display, just like strength, like in your bare fist, is just like both ground shaking and earth shattering, levels of strength that, when like people like somehow when people yell, it echoes through like the universe and galaxies and all the earth and stuff like that. Very poetical in the types of like, I guess, the hyperbole levels of strength, if there was any, and it's almost poetical that way. I mean, I appreciate it for what it is, But I tell you what, the best thing about Dragon Ball Z, and I want to stress the Z, not Dragon Ball when Goku was a kid, not Super when he's like has the Super Saiyan God ability, even though that's great, and not even GT, which most people seem to hate, but I kind of liked it. I like the Super Saiyan 4 better, but to be honest, GT was only bad. I feel like was only like, I could take it because GT to me was like good when it got to the last episodes. Like when it got to like the dragon and like the Omega Shenron and like the all of them. You know what I mean? When it got to the Omega Shenron and Sen Shenron, Omega Shenron, Ice, the fiery one, when they had I think Baby was a great one. Super 17 was alright. It was alright. I would have just called it Android 34 because they had an episode, at least in the English dub, called Android 17 plus 17 or something like that. It was something stupid like that. I'm like, just call them Android 34 because that's just simple mathematics right there. But yeah, man, I say yeah, man. Like I promise you, like Blasphemous HD, only because I like watch him so much. Cause every time I watch him, he'd be like, yeah, man. And he was, to me, that's how he sounds. Every time he says yeah, man, that's how it comes off to me. Cause there was like the older videos, that's how he would sound it. And he doesn't bend it so much now. He doesn't like elongate the yeah and bend it into the man. He doesn't do that so much no more. But where am I going with this? But the special thing about Dragon Ball Z, I promise, like the arcs was like the Saiyan arc and like the Namek arc, to where like when I say Namek arc, I'm saying Captain Ginyu and Frieza and the time that he turned Super Saiyan. And when I say the Saiyan arc, I'm saying when, you know, the Raditz came, and then the Nappa and Vegeta came. I don't know why I put the in front of their names, like I'm out of touch, but yeah, because I'm familiar with it. But man, those was like the best, you know. Just, you know what? I'm gonna stop on that topic before I start to get into some threatening territory with my thesis that I have on those two arcs combined, you know, and what that meant for like Dragon Ball Z, you know, like, you know, I'll just give you a little taste. It's just that I could state that, you know, Saiyans are pretty much black people. That's it. That's all I'm gonna go into by saying that, by referencing those two arcs, you know, and like their personalities and everything like that. You know, just like off of a generic basis, not like the way that some of the YouTubers who actually spends their time focusing on Dragon Ball Z and dives deep into it, focuses on it, but just kind of offhand, you know. Well, that's the rant that I have for today. You can subscribe if you want to. Yeah, I'm just putting it out there. We'll see how far these rants go. Alright, see ya.